And welcome back to Lombardi Sweep, a Packers podcast or Flurry Sports podcast about the Packers. Green Bay Packers, that is. Uh, Janet Wilson in the middle, Luke Reimer on the right. I'm Zach Bruner. Trevor Land is suspended. He is day to day. He is inactive, whatever you want to say. He is not here. And we are. We didn't know if we would come back. We don't know what our schedule is going forward. Just as a disclaimer, I don't know when we will do another show. You know what? Follow the Lombardi Sweep Twitter and we'll let you know there. How about that? But today we will go over the Packers schedule. We will do our main takeaways from the schedule. We will give our record predictions. And we'll also talk about the Jaire Alexander contract extension as well, because that's a pretty big extension super early thoughts before we jump into it. I personally didn't think it would happen this early. Did you guys?
Nope. I thought it was going to be another Devontae where we had to keep him hostage and then he would sign.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'd hold him down, waterboard him. Yeah.
Pin him
Let's
down.
jump into. I'm sure that's happened to somebody with Green Bay. It wouldn't surprise me.
Funny story about Jaire Alexander. When he was a rookie, I was at a party in Green Bay and he showed up. I think like days after they drafted him.
Now, Luke, we had to do this. Is it a Shamar situation or was Jaire there?
No, this one was real.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's more recognizable, I think. So I believe you.
I saw him in the desert. I hadn't had water for 14 days. I saw him in the desert.
The whole team was there. But yeah, let's talk about the schedule quickly. Obviously, like last year, because of the additional regular season game going forward, there's only 3 preseason games. Nothing to say about it. 49ers, Saints, Chiefs. There's only 1 home preseason game, I guess. So if you want super cheap Lambeau tickets, you will be looking at week 2 of the preseason against the Saints. Taysom Hill's coming home for those people. I get Blake Bortles actually, I think technically is on the team. So maybe we see Blake Bortles. Oh my God! If we see Blake, I might be there actually. Let me know.
We're gonna lose this game 56-0.
That's fine. That's okay. As long as Bortles finds pay dirt, I am there. But yeah, I'm going to quickly run through this schedule and give takeaways. I personally don't think it's a very favorable schedule for the Packers. I think they kind of got the short end of the stick this year. But then we're going to go game by game and give our quick early predictions. And, we will save the clip and we will brag about it. If any one of us is right, it will be it'll definitely, well, first off, Trevor won't be able to break. It'll just be us 3.
Not if we're right, when we're right.
True. We have to make sure we have a different record, just so like a spread approach. It's a shotgun approach here. We can't like sniper it. Like we gotta figure it out strategically.
Two of us could take bullets and go 16-0 and 0-16, and then or whoever else would grab the rest.
Right.
Narrow it down a little bit for the last person.
Yes, that's a good point. But yeah, looking at the schedule here really quick. Shout out to Flurry Sports, who I think wrote the first week before anybody else released it. So thank you to my source on this one. We start out at Minnesota once again, just like 2 years ago in the COVID year. We started at Minnesota. We do it again this year. We have Zadaria Smith, obviously, Zadaria Smith. I don't know why that name didn't sound right to me. He is now with the Vikings. He is already cutting promos on the Packers, which awesome. That's fine. But then we go, so at Minnesota week 1, Sunday Night Football against the Bears at home in week 2. There's always a primetime game against Chicago. Right away, we turn around and go at Tampa Bay next Sunday. Sunday after that, we host the Patriots. Sunday after that, we go to London week 5 to play the Giants. That's an 8:30 kickoff Central Time. So Packers, we knew going into the schedule making process that the Packers were going to be giving up their first London game. Giving up a home game for their first London game. It's against the Giants, which makes it a little bit better, I suppose. Even though the Packers haven't been over there, I hear there's a pretty large Packers fan base over there. So I would assume largely the crowd's going to be a Packer crowd, which is good at least. Usually London teams come back and have a bye. Packers do not. They host the Jets, which is as close to a bye as you can get, but it's still a game. And then they run the gauntlet. They go to Washington, to Buffalo, to Detroit. Then they host McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys. It's McCarthy's first game back. Then they have a Thursday night football game hosting the Titans. Then they go to Philly, to Chicago, and then week 14 is their first bye week finally. So people are talking the Packers receiving core might take a little bit of time to gel, a little bit of time to, work all the kinks out. They don't really have time because there's 13 straight weeks, a large road schedule, and they start the year off with 2 divisional games. So this is going to be a tough schedule. And then coming off the bye week, we have a Monday night football game. So usually Monday night weeks are good because you have an additional day to prepare. Because we're coming off a bye, it's essentially worthless. So we have an extra day before we host the Rams. Then we go to Miami, host the Vikings, host the Lions of week 18. So early takeaways, I would say, is the schedule makers feel like the Packers are going to be slightly iffy this year, and they want the Packers to have maximum home field advantage in December and January. There's obviously three of 4 games to end the season are at home. Packers also play on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, by the way. Christmas is in Miami. New Year's Day is hosting the Vikings. But yeah, NFL really likes to see the frozen tundra live in action, and that's kind of why they ended the season that way. But before we go game by game then, Luke, Janet, what are your thoughts on the schedule? Luke, I saw you shaking your head quite a bit.
So obviously, 13 weeks in a row is going to be tough with a trip across the world in there. That's the first initial red flag to me. And you only mentioned one Monday night football game as well. It seems to me the Packers maybe have 2, almost 3 sometimes. I'm wondering, Zach, you brought up, schedule makers are maybe predicting the Packers to be a little iffy this year and trying to give them that home field advantage. I'm wondering why, if that's why they have an unusually low amount of Monday night football games.
Yeah, and it's also interesting because, Aikman and Buck have in the past have had every Packers game, it seemed like, and now they're on Monday night, so it would have seemed natural for the Packers to be on like every Monday night. But yeah, it's weird. The Packers have plenty of primetime games, but the primetime games quickly then. It's the Bears at home.
Yep.
London, technically, I guess, is 8:30 in the morning. At Buffalo, Sunday night football. Home against Tennessee, Thursday night football. At Philadelphia, Sunday night football. Home Rams on Monday night football. And then I'm going to assume Detroit gets flexed to Monday night the last week. Or primetime. Something. We need a Dan Campbell in primetime.
So that's 6 or 7 games.
Which is a lot. It's definitely a lot. But like I said, that Monday night game's worthless. Usually you have an extra day. And when you're coming off a bye to play on Monday, it doesn't matter. It's frustrating. Randy in the comments, those snow games in Lambeau or at Green Bay are insane. They definitely are, and that's why the NFL loves them. What do you think of these commentators moving networks? I like it. Obviously, the pay is good. Like, it's cool that people are getting paid. I just like, usually NFL free agency sucks and the trade deadline sucks. This summer has been wild. Like, for the commentators, for the players, for the coaches, for everything has been wild. And obviously, Amazon becoming a player is massive. I'm sure Apple TV is going to try to get into it pretty soon now because they've made that known. And Amazon, from what I hear, is like they're not done making moves. It sounds like they're trying to partner with the Pat McAfee show to get something on their network as well. I would assume other sports shows. It wouldn't surprise me if they get into the Barstool lane a little bit. That would make a lot of sense. Like, I think it's really cool. I'm glad that there are, anytime that there's other networks to take a piece of the pie that has been ESPN, Fox, all of them, I love it because I want to see those guys go down anyway,
Yeah, they stole Kay Adams from NFL Network too.
Yeah. I'm surprised Al Michaels went.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Jana, what are your thoughts about the commentator carousel of sorts?
The commentator carousel. Honestly, I haven't even been able to watch anything because NFL Network like doesn't let me watch it on the app anymore. So like I have no idea what's going on other than I find out on Twitter. But I'm really sad because I'm so used to Kay Adams being part of like NFL Network. Like that's where I used to wake up and stuff. So I could just imagine how sad that is. But can they like let us watch it on the app? It makes me so angry. Like I can't watch anything on my apps anymore. I can't just I used to be able to be at the gym and like just watch it while I'd be like on the treadmill or whatever. And now I can't. I have to actually listen to music. So that's my complaint.
You should write a letter.
Put everything back? Yeah, angry letter. Can you guys please put everything back on the apps where we can watch it live? My dad pays really good money for your services on DirecTV. I should be able to watch it. He pays for like Sunday Ticket and everything, and I can't watch it on the app. So that's my angry letter right there.
Bitches.
I'm just hoping Prime is good. Like Prime sucks right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like at least in my opinion, you can't find anything. Like the Prime makes me feel so old. Like I get lost, I get overwhelmed. Like nothing's where it should be.
So
I hope football is like just one button. Like give me football out there.
So I've used Prime once in my life. You have to like buy a subscription and then you can buy shows off of Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck's up with that?
I have no idea.
It's not a good business model.
No.
It's so annoying. Like you have to pay for the subscription, and then when you want something, you have to buy it.
And they mix them in. Like this is free, this is paid, this is paid, this is free. And like some seasons of shows are paid and some are free.
Oh, that'd be infuriating.
I watched one thing on Prime ever. And it was one episode of a show and I didn't like it, thank God. So I haven't gone back to it. So like
what makes me angry is that some of the older shows are really expensive. Like, okay, so my favorite show of all time is Frasier. I love it. And like it'll be like $18 to watch Frasier. And I'm like, what the hell? Nobody watches Frasier but me. Why would you? That's probably why.
Same with Jackass.
They're like, we need to get all the...
True. Have you seen the new Jackass movie? I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I need to watch it. Maybe I'll do that later tonight.
It's so good.
I hear it's good. I need to do it. I hear they're trying to do start a series again, a TV series again.
Oh, I hope so. The original TV series was incredible too.
Yes, it was.
I
hope it's not on MTV though.
What was it called? Circus.
They had
before Jackass, Nitro Circus.
That's Travis Pastrana.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like essentially the same thing, but his crew then.
I think Jeff Tremaine directed both of them.
That would make sense.
Yeah, because I thought I remember some episodes with like Bam Margera and like like they were in there.
Yeah, I think they both crossed over into each other's shows a lot.
Shout out to Bam. How you doing, bud?
Hope you're well.
I want you on the next Jackass, please. Okay, let's go game by game here. Give our predictions. Keep track of your own record, and then we'll say it at the
Trevor's
end.
the person who keeps track of stuff.
Trevor, listen back and keep track for us.
I know. I guess I'll use my fingers like my kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna mark the losses on my fingers. Week 1, 9-11. Never forget. At Minnesota, I'm gonna go loss. What about you guys?
It's at Minnesota. I'm gonna go win.
Hold on. What's going on with my phone? I'm gonna say win.
Okay. Home against the Bears, Sunday Night Football. That's a win, and I don't think it's too early to give Randall Cobb 2 touchdowns.
No, I mean, I've said this every time. Sunday Night Football games against the Bears is Rodgers throwing 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's a win.
Okay.
For sure.
At Tampa Bay, I don't know if Chris Godwin's going to be healthy or not. I'm not sure where his timeline is, but he's recovering from an ACL. But I'm still going to go loss on that one as well.
Same.
I'm going to take the win. That defense doesn't scare me as much as it did a couple years back.
That's fair.
But we need to see if Giselle has predicted a win or loss, because apparently she predicts all of Tom Brady's wins.
Does she? I haven't heard that. That's a story?
Yeah, they say that she's been predicting his seasons accurately because she's a witch. So we got to go see.
I like that.
Maybe. I like that story.
Yeah, I'll catch on to that.
I think they misheard. I think Tom said she's a bitch. And they're like, oh, whoops.
I want Antonio Brown back in the house.
That's why he came out of retirement.
He didn't just come out of retirement. Then he booked a job for the next 30 years so he wouldn't have to retire again.
He said, man. I'm not raising those kids.
Speaking of them just giving a 30-year job to Tom Brady, you know how like heartbreaking that is for people who are like right next that would have got the job if Tom Brady didn't exist?
Greg Olsen?
You're right.
Greg Olsen's been working his way up, and they're like, nah, it's good. We're good. And Drew Brees might come there and take the job from Greg Olsen now, too.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid. Week 4, home against the Patriots. I'm going to go win.
Yep.
Same.
Okay. That's at home?
Home, yep. Gold package for people who care about that. Then London, 8:30, week 5 against the Giants. I'm going to go win.
Yep.
Coming back home, short week, basically home against the Jets. I'm going to go win on that one as well. Okay.
I'm going to say loss.
Okay.
We always come, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just going to be one of those weird losses where everybody's all janky and like jet lagged. So I'm going to say loss.
The Jets do play the Packers well, like the last couple of times that they played. I think the Packers have won in all of them, but it's been, close up until middle of the fourth quarter.
I mean, it's the LaFleur Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
His best friend Salah's the head coach there. So never know. We'll see. They practiced together last year, right? So maybe they know something. Who knows? Week 7, the start of this road trip. Now they go to Washington. I'm going to give the Packers a loss.
This feels like the bad loss, especially with Washington's defensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say loss too.
Short week playing at Buffalo. I'm going to say they bounce back and get a win.
I think they get killed in this game.
That's fair.
Same. I'm going to say loss.
I've seen Von Miller kill us too many times.
That's true. I just feel like Thursday night, short week, game plan goes out the window. I trust Aaron Rodgers.
Just let him go play football.
And, I mean, I don't think it's too early to start talking about this. This is a Sammy Watkins revenge game. He's going to come to play. He's got to be – it's a bold prediction to say he's going to be on the field at this point, but I'm going to say he is.
I mean, you can usually pencil Sammy Watkins in for at least one 200-yard game a season. This may be it.
It's the day before Halloween, so anything can happen.
Spooky things are going to happen. I'll predict he's out for week 9, and I think the Packers are fatigued being on the road. I think they look ahead. They play at Detroit. I'm going to give them a loss to Detroit.
Win.
I'm going to say win.
Week after is McCarthy's homecoming. Dallas Cowboys come into Lambeau. I'm giving them that win.
Yeah, I'm giving like a 30-point win.
Hope so. We can't lose that game. We cannot lose that one.
That's an Aaron Rodgers.
Me.
That's an Aaron Rodgers.
We can't lose it for sure. I don't want to hear it from anybody. We have to win that game.
Yes, we do. I apologize. The Bills game was a Sunday night game because then the Titans here are the Thursday night game. I'm going to say they beat them on Thursday night.
Yep.
Same.
Is that game at home? Did you say? I'm sorry.
Yes. Yep. Then week 12, they go on the road to Philadelphia for Sunday night football. I'll say that's a loss.
I think so too.
Same.
Philadelphia's They're going all in. I respect it. I don't know. They could be good this year.
I think they win the division.
There hasn't
For
been a
sure.
consecutive winner for 17 years, I think they said.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe. Week 13, last game before the bye week, going to Chicago. That's a win.
Yep. Aaron Rodgers owns them.
Okay.
I agree.
Bye week in week 14. Week 15, again, we're talking mid-December. They host the Rams on Monday Night Football. I will say it's a win.
I'm going to say loss.
I say loss.
That's going to be a game they lose, and people are saying, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers is finally done in Green Bay."
Maybe.
I just feel like we always come back from the bye week way too relaxed and like we got this, and then we lose.
True. That is a good point. Sticking to it though. Christmas Day, they go to Miami. It's a noon game. I'm going to say win.
Yes.
Okay. New Year's Day, week 17. They got the Vikings at home in a 325 game. I'm going to go win for that one as well.
I'm going to go loss. I think Vikings may be on the precipice of playoffs here, and they're going to be desperate. They're going to play desperate.
I'm going to say win also because I might be at that game. So I'm going to say win.
Okay. Do you have a good track record or do they usually lose when you're there?
I have a good track record. It's when I see them away. I don't know why. Like when I go, every time I go to an away game, they lose. It's the home games they win.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Last game, this is going to be either the 7th or 8th. I'm guessing that's Saturday or Sunday. Home against the Lions, I'll say they win that game.
Loss.
I say win.
So for me, I think I gave them an 11-6 record.
So did I.
I had 5 losses.
Okay, so 12-5 for Luke. Shannon and I are both going 11-6. Okay.
We'll pencil Trevor down for 0-16 or 0-17.
16-1.
Perfect.
He'll predict a tie.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's the schedule. Like I said, I think it's a tough schedule for the Packers given where their roster is. Like they need to be developing early. They need to start out quick. Unlike last year, obviously they started out flat against the Saints and got destroyed. Yes, Janet?
I have a question. Just for shits and giggles. If we did have a tie, which game do you guys think would be it?
A Viking game. Probably the second Viking game.
I'm going Detroit. It's got to be Detroit at Detroit week 9, and Detroit's going to rush the field if it's a tie.
Probably.
Dan Cable might tackle somebody.
Him and Aiden Hutchinson are going to be wrestling all season. I'm telling you this.
All of a sudden, you see him coming out in uniform out of the tunnel.
Like
Yeah,
that's how
Hard
Knocks should open this
Yeah.
season. Those two wrestling.
The opener.
Yes.
Where he does. Oh, I thought you said where he comes out of the tunnel in his in like uniform and does like the Ray Lewis.
Dan Campbell's going to suit up. Oh, did we lose Zach?
He looks frozen.
Yoo-hoo.
Or he just got really excited thinking about Dan Campbell walking out in a uniform. All right. So since he's frozen, I'm going to say my tie. I think it would be so fun for us to get a tie with the Bills.
That would be great.
It's the day before Halloween. Second of all, we are like basically the top 2 fans in the NFL. So I think it would be so hilarious because we're so passionate. The Packers and Bills are like, they're so passionate about their team. It would be so funny that it ends in a tie. Like, I think there would be so much more rage and anger that it ended in a tie as opposed to like if one of us actually won.
See, was that game at Buffalo? Imagine how many like big, fat Packer dads are going to be jumping through tables.
It could either go each way. Like, we could be angry because it ended in a tie, or everybody just gets like shit faced and everybody's just jumping on tables and holding hands while they do it.
I think either way, everyone's going to get shit faced and jump on tables.
True.
What else were we going to? Oh, Jaire Alexander.
Oh, yeah.
Let me pull up his contract here. So Packers signed Jaire Alexander, 4 years, $84 million. Obviously bringing back one of the best cornerbacks in the league, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think I read somewhere that this is the third player that, I don't know, something where Jaire Alexander's third player in the last couple of years has set the NFL record for most money at their position in a contract. But obviously, right off the bat, I mean, Jaire Alexander, we know how good he is. We know that he can take away one side of the field. He proved that 2 years ago before he got hurt. I guess, Janet, my question for you, with him coming back and with this contract, are you worried about any rust or anything, or do you think the time he's had off and the training camp and that he'll be ready to go back down to a shutdown corner week 1?
Nah, I think he'll be fine. I mean, he started off as a rookie producing pretty well. So I think that it comes natural to him. He's going to be fine. I don't see any problems with him.
Yeah, and I think the big thing that helps too is it obviously helps the pass rush, right? If you can get the quarterback to hold on to the ball longer, obviously it takes more time to get to throw the ball. And you know, I would assume that helps out the continued development of Rashawn Gary. We saw what he did last year. But overall, I mean, you're getting a top 20 player in the league back. It's going to help you more than it's going to hurt you.
Yeah. So he's the top CB, right now?
Yep.
Like, he's the top paid. Yeah. Well, no, yeah, I think he should be fine.
I do too. I know that I think Zach kind of wanted this as a shorter show, and obviously without him and Trevor here, we can only say so much about Jaire Alexander. So, Jen, I don't know how we end the show because Zach was obviously the host of it. So I think we both leave, and maybe that ends
it. Yeah. Okay, but we let's see. Do I have any facts about teeth?
Oh yeah, good call.
Oh, well, I have a fun story. And it involves teeth. One of my 5-year-old students was like, "Hey, Miss Wilson, one of my tooth," and he was kind of panicking because it was his first tooth. He was like, "It's kind of loose." And like, you could see like he had a worried face, and I was like, "Do you want me to pull it out?" And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll pull it out." So I put on a glove, and in front of the whole class, I just pulled out his tooth. So I'm literally a tooth fairy.
You are a dentist.
I literally extracted a tooth in front of everybody. Oh, he's back. I'm over here telling you a story about how
storming outside.
We killed some time. Janet told a story about her ripping teeth out of her kid's nose.
I mean, it's on brand, but okay.
We were trying to end like with a tooth fact, but I had a story of like me pulling out one of my students' tooths because he was panicking, and it was his first tooth. He said, "Miss Wilson, my tooth is kind of loose." And I said, "Do you want me to pull it out?" And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll pull it out." And he was worried. So that I just literally put on a glove, and in front of all the kids, like, I counted to 3 and I pulled it out. And I put his tooth in a little treasure box and sent it home. So I am literally a tooth fairy.
I mean, that's one spin on the story for sure, I guess. Luke's statement is also correct, it sounds like.
To a little different degree.
We know how to end this show. But now I guess we can hear what Zach thinks about
Jaire
Alexander.
Oh, I mean, I think it's deserved. I think we're paying him outside corner money and asking him to play slot corner, though, which makes absolutely no sense. So he's setting the market at a new price, and then we're asking him to play slot majority of the time, which makes 0 sense. I think that's stupid, but it is what it is. We reported the salary correctly right away. Props Flurry Sports, obviously a $7 million hit this year, so we saved $6 million on it. So we have $6 million more room. That's cool. Next 2 years, it goes to $20 million cap hit, $22 million cap hit. Then there's an out, so the Packers could save $12 million if they cut him there before his age 28 season. Will they do it? Who knows? There's going to be a restructure there no matter what, I think, because then there's 2 years after that where there's a 23.5 hit and a 25.5 hit. And I don't see them doing that unless Stokes completely flops. If Stokes completely flops, then they'll probably pay it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he deserves the money for sure.
For sure. Right. And I brought up that, we saw what he did 2 years ago when he gave up only 9 catches or whatever. And that's obviously he's playing outside, right? I also brought up it probably helps to pass rush out a little bit, knowing that you have Jaire locked up and, he can play at least 2 or 3 more years with the Packers. That helps Rashawn Gary continue to develop more into, I think, what a lot of people think he is right now.
Yeah, and I mean, the stats are skewed because of when the games occurred. But again, 2 games against Justin Jefferson, Jaire's given up 1 catch. One was his first game of his career where I don't think he started. And then there's a game later on. But still, I mean, he set the record for best rookie year until last year. And Jaire held him to 1 catch.
Yeah,
So,
if you're not going to look forward to anything else, I mean, Jaire Alexander, Justin Jefferson is going to be fun for the next 3-4 years.
agreed, unless
Hoping they match up. Right.
Well, hopefully they match up. Yeah, they might put Jaire in the slot, and he might be covering Chad Beebe.
Mm-hmm.
Great. That's what we need. But yeah, I mean, it was a good signing. It was a good restructure. I'm happy it happened before the season. And now with $6 million extra dollars, the Packers need to sign a 4th, a 5th, and maybe a 6th cornerback,
Mm-hmm. And when it comes down to it, I'm sorry, you're re-signing one of the best players in the NFL. You're keeping him on your team.
Yes, and unfortunately, I also think we're going to be re-signing one of the worst players in the NFL in Kevin King.
Good special teamer.
Is he? I mean, actually, he wasn't that bad at special teams. He'd be fine. But, boy, $6 million, though. Never know. Packers could get silly and get Odell. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Why not?
I saw somebody predicting us taking Odell, but I don't know about that.
I think I've seen that every year for the last 5 years.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Odell's also said that he wants to go back to the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't want to play for free. So
Odell feels like a Los Angeles guy as opposed to a Green Bay guy.
Yeah,
I don't see him.
Julio also doesn't seem like a Green Bay guy, I would say.
There's not many NFL players that do seem like Green Bay guys.
No, that's kind of the issue, I would say. But, is what it is. Re-sign Kevin King for what? He's a bum. I agree, but that's what the Packers are going to do. I don't want them to. I just think that's what they're going to do. Yeah. I don't know, Janet, did you pull any other teeth out? Do you have any more teeth stories or no? Or should we go?
No, that was my only tooth story.
I'll
I don't
throw
really
a
have
little.
any other facts.
I'll throw a little teaser in for our next episode that I do have a good debate question that I want to ask you guys, but I want to ask when Trevor's here because I want to know his answer too.
Trevor's showing up in the Slack chat while we are live, by the way. So as we discussed
Why
off
don't-
the air, Trevor is no longer allowed on the air, I would say.
Why don't you ask the question and then we
And then we'll
pick
leave.
up as an opener?
Okay.
That's a good idea.
No, as an opener on the next show, that's what we will start off with to hear Trevor's answer.
That's a good idea.
Okay. Ask it, Luke.
So if you were in like the year 1000 AD, and you were by yourself how you are right now and had one modern militarized tank, could you take over the world?
Okay. We will be back. We don't know when. It might be next week. It might be a month from now. But expect us to answer that question.
All right.
See ya.
Peace.
Bye.